Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey Lennon.
and this is Volume Up by the Tees. So Jeff, do you notice something different about me today?
Immediately. I clocked it immediately.
Okay.
Your hair is straight,
It's straight. I
not pin
did this
straight, to
thing,
be clear. Like not,
but I
but
wish you
it's
were here
very, very straight for you. This
for me.
is
It
this
is.
is
It's a
sleek as hell.
departure.
Yes?
If you were here in real life, you could actually see what I did. And I crimped it. I crimped my hair.
Do you have a crimper just lying
Well,
around?
you know that Sebastian, professional, you know
Hmm.
that that brand invented the crimper back in the early aughts.
I did
And
not know.
yeah, and so I have a micro crimper from Sebastian because we
Mhm.
worked with them at the agency all these years ago, and I just dusted that off because we've been talking about Y2K coming back,
It,
and
mhm,
I
mhm.
think this is so fitting. So it's not just crimped, it's micro crimped. And here's the one thing I worry. It's so crimped that I
Mhm.
don't know if it's
It's
gonna uncrimp.
hopefully it does
Yeah,
uncrimp.
I
But
hope
that's a
so too.
legitimate fear. I mean, when you
Yeah.
get into the high temps,
Didn't think about
especially
it. Didn't think
early
about it.
2000s temperature regulation,
Yep.
probably not the same as what we're
No.
working
And I cranked that sucker.
with.
But I did put some 2 rounds of heat protectant
Well,
on
that's good.
it.
That's good. I mean, you're thinking that's
I was
putting the
thinking,
2025
yeah,
knowledge to use.
some
Okay.
little self-care.
Some
Self-care.
extension care too.
Yes.
Well, I mean, again, I'm into it. So,
Thank you. I kind of am
is
too.
this going to be more of a mainstay, you
I
think? Are
don't
you going to
know.
be?
Let's vote on it, shall we? Shall we?
Putting it to the listeners. You're seeing this on social, so let
Yeah,
us know. Do we like
let
this
us
look
know.
for Kelly? I do.
Thank you. You're getting curlier and I'm getting straighter.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, how about this fall thing that's happening? And I am so
Mm,
here for it. Do
I
any
know.
leaves
No,
change
you've
by
got
you?
like the
Like
best.
the
The Midwest
best.
does it best. You
It
really
does.
have, especially Madison. Like it's
Oh,
just
the lake,
stunning. Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
no. Yeah. Falls too goddamn good. So congrats.
thank you.
Um, so I'm in Northern California, so there is a little bit more of a like
Okay.
seasons change kind of thing happening. But not really. Like it was very hot all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden. I mean, September, October tends to be really hot for us in California. October was hot. It
Yeah.
chilled down, like got chilly for us, like 68,
Oh,
and then it
poor
pops right
you.
back up. So I know. I
Yeah.
mean, like it's not Halloween. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a chilly
Like
Christmas
you could
sort of
break a
situation.
sweat on Halloween. Yuck. And
Probably.
we
Yeah.
could be wearing snowsuits. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
you
Yeah. We
know,
don't have that like
just a
romantic
toss up.
fall cozy. Like whenever anybody's like, "Oh, I just want to, cozy up with a hot drink,"
Pumpkin
and it's like,
spice latte, which I
no,
hate.
no, yeah, no, they're
Gross.
disgusting. Um,
Disgusting.
but no, 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 none of that's happening here. We
Okay.
we want it, but it's not. So
It's
enjoy it though. You
I
should
will.
like
In
make the most of
fact,
it because there's nothing
I
better.
my backyard, I'm so blessed, is like full of trees. Well, and acorns, to be honest.
Acorns,
I'm
trees,
not going to talk
birds.
about birds, but I do hate it when it's so windy because then all the leaves start blowing off, and I'm like, just hang on for a little bit, would ya?
Yeah. I
So,
mean, I will say like fall is great for the Midwest because you
yes.
still have the colored leaves and the crisp
Mm-hmm.
air but then it goes quick into
It's quick.
winter.
Too
And then
quick.
that is when it
That's
gets,
real bad.
yeah, it gets
Yeah.
real sad
Real
when you
bad.
do hope
Real
that those
bad.
leaves had held on for just a little bit longer. Yeah, but we're not there yet,
No,
thankfully. We're
we're
not there. We're
enjoying.
enjoying the present,
Yes.
which is what we all need to do, I think.
Yes.
And yeah, take advantage. I am hoping for some fall weather at some point, but I fear it's just going to go straight into our
Okay.
winter, which is some rain.
Okay.
And then
Great.
you'll hear me being like, but we really needed it because that's what Californians do.
Until it floods, knock on
Yes. Oh, I
wood. I
know.
mean,
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas. Okay, you ready to get into our celeb photos of the week?
Let's do it.
All right, please follow along on these looks with us by either checking out our show notes
Mhm.
or on our Instagram where they will be posted. We're going to pop up the first picture. Jeff and I have not seen this yet. And it is a picture of Instagram. Wow, I sound pretty old right now.
It's an Instagram post, is it?
It's like a moving, is that a video? Is that called a
Yeah.
video?
Yeah. How's
Yeah.
that work?
Uh-huh. Jeff, who do we have?
We've got Zoe Kravitz. So
Mhm.
she is at the Academy Museum Gala, the fifth annual. This year, this was a huge fucking deal. The Academy Museum I guess now it's figured out what it is.
This
A-list,
is
like
good.
top
Huh.
top talent went, and they really showed up, like Zoe. So Zoe, I think, is still rocking micro braids. Yep.
Oh,
Which is
wow.
making this even more of a feat. So she's got a sort of bob with a little bit of a flick flip, depending
Uh-huh.
on the person, but these are micro braids. So shout
Oh,
out to her team.
wow.
Often working with Nikki Nelms. Cannot confirm in this instance that it was, but let me see. Maybe I will. It is. It is confirming.
Oh, you're
So yeah,
right.
this is Nikki Nelms. Big fan of her work, but I mean, like,
Totally.
look at that. That's yeah. So this is
It's
like a
stunning.
9 for me. I love the shape. I love the
Yep.
color. And then again, knowing that these are micro braids on top of
The
that.
skill that went into that. I'm
Mhm.
going to give it a 9 too. It is absolutely stunning and different. It's
Yes.
very, very different. It's not
Yep.
just like a little pixie with micro bangs. It's got some attitude and a little
Mhm.
bit of retro throwback. Love it.
Perfectly stated. I'm into it. Look at
We're into
us.
it.
We
Look
were
at
sort
us.
of
Oh, positive,
hating
positive,
last
positive.
time, but we're not hating today.
We're
So
not. We're not.
we've got range, everybody.
We do.
All
Okay,
right.
next up, Jeff.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Yep.
Big fan. I mean, of her. I think I just said that we're not going to hate. She does this sort of Hollywood
Yeah.
side parted
A
wave.
lot,
Yeah.
right?
So this isn't necessarily a departure, unlike Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz, that's she changed it up on us, and we all gag. This is, I think, good. This is pretty. This is solid. She looks incredible.
Yep.
Fine. The curls there, the shape is there. Got some good volume. I mean, we're not supposed to probably talk about it, but if you scroll through, we've got
Yeah.
some like after party business,
Oh,
and I like that
yeah.
look better.
I do too. It's an updo with a little bit of,
Like a much more
yeah.
carefree, PC sort of
Yeah.
situation. But yeah, so for the red carpet look, I'll give it like a 7
Okay.
because I like her.
I think it's too safe. I'm gonna
Yeah,
give
it
it a
is very safe.
5.
Okay, yeah,
But the
that's
color
fair.
is absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
shine, the color and shine is fantastic.
Is
So,
she wearing new Chanel? Is that what's happening too?
ugh,
That is,
even better.
I think we might
That's
be.
real nice.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks real good. Okay. Next up, Nia DaCosta.
See what I
She's
said?
also at the Academy Museum Gala.
Big deal. Big deal. Okay, so what do we've got
We've got a side long ponytail, but we're trying to
yes.
decipher if those are braids or not, or just is it like an
Similarly,
inside out fishtail or like a fishtail braid?
it is. It is absolutely that. You nailed it. She's also got sort of like boho braids.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's super long. The color is really, really deep. Um, yeah, I like the little piecey bits that they're coming out here. I'm
Yeah.
into this look as well. I'm trying
I'm
to see if
into
I
it
can get it from a
totally.
different angle, just because this photo
I'm
is
going to give this
playing
an 8,
tricks.
Jeff, because I
Damn.
think, yeah, I love it a lot because her dress has like feathers and a lot of texture on it,
Uh-huh.
and they just kind of doubled down on that story with the hair. I think it's intricate. I bet it took a great deal of time and precision to do.
I mean, the thing that's wild about this is that she's a filmmaker, director,
Huh.
and she like is out glamming some of the
Yeah.
actresses, which
Yep.
like, all
She
right.
she she brought it. She's like, "Hey, we're doing this gala and we're doing it. Like
I mean,
we're
like
doing it."
really doing it. No, she looks incredible. I think I'm. You said 8. I feel like I
Yeah.
could. I'm there.
You're
I'll give it an
matching
8 as
me.
well.
All right.
I'm matching your energy. I'm
Oh.
into it.
Oh, I love that. All right. Who's our last one? We're going to round it out. Number 4.
So this is on the heels of okay, so the person, the actress, is Danielle Detweiler.
Yeah.
And this is around the announcement that she is going to be part of the Euphoria season
Mhm.
3 cast, which who the hell knows when season 3 is going to be coming out. It seems like it's been, I
Taking a
think, like
minute. Yeah.
2 or 3 years since season 2, maybe
Yeah. I
more.
mean,
But yeah, so she's got a beaded braided look.
yep.
This is very sort of 80s, early 90s. This is a really intricate look. Tiny,
It
tiny
is.
little
It's
braids.
very, very detailed.
Hmm.
I think it's stunning.
I love the
I love
length.
it.
I think
Uh,
that it's so beautiful.
It is.
I'm curious what this means for her character, because who
Yeah.
the hell knows what Euphoria is going to give us?
Yep.
Wondering how she comes into our lives.
Let's do it, Euphoria.
Hmm. If we
All
ever get
right.
that show,
Yeah, if it comes out in the next decade. Anyway,
we'll see. That was our celebrity looks of the week. Tell us if you agree, disagree. We want to hear from you. And now let's get into the top beauty stories that you need to know about. Kelly, talk to me a little bit about this trend. You brought it to my
Yeah.
attention. Hmm.
Well, I just have a little something to say about it. So it's Hailey Bieber's brown cat-eyed nails are the ultimate fall manicure. And okay, point number one, my mom literally just got this manicure, literally on Saturday morning with me.
Are you serious?
I'm dead ass serious. Like,
Before Haley, because the timeline
so
run. Yep,
yeah,
yep,
I'm gonna
yep.
go like, what? Sorry, it was Diane, not Haley. But anyway, it looks fantastic. I love it so much, but it's actually the look of fall, if you will, the shape shifting, changing manicure.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it's necessarily the look of fall. I'm not really a person who changes their nail color with the seasons. That tends to irritate me.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah,
Why are we matching to the season? Like, what do
I
your
feel like,
nails have to
yeah,
do
yeah. So
with the
like,
season?
I want anyone to come up with any excuse that they need to go and see a nail pro.
Same.
So like, if it needs to be the change of the season, sure, fine. If it needs to be that you've got an event, an occasion, that like, cool,
Okay.
whatever. But yeah, I feel like to be expected that we've got sort of
A
browns
brownie
and
neutral, like
oranges. Yeah, yeah,
shocker.
for
It's like florals for spring.
it's giving that.
Yeah.
Also, cat eye has been a like thing for
Mm-hmm.
the past 5 years. I don't know. I find that whenever we're doing a trend attribution to like a Hailey Bieber in particular, who we all
And
know,
what? Yeah, we
yeah,
don't.
yeah,
You're not a big
it's
fan.
always like that's been a thing that people have been doing. That said, I really do like this look. So
I like it too.
shout out to your mom.
Shout
More
out.
people
I
should
know
do it.
she's listening. Yeah, that's right, Mom. I hear ya. Um, last point. Why is Haley always associated with nails?
That I mean,
I don't
between the
understand
jelly
how
donut and I mean, it's
the
like nails and
glaze,
lips
yeah,
and
like, okay. Anyway,
she's a beauty girl,
she's a
Kelly.
girly girl.
Yeah, we are supposed to care about her.
Oh, okay.
You
Let's
won't
move
find
on.
me.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay,
Something
next
else that
up.
I struggle with.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, sure do. But this, I feel like it's kind of interesting. So we're referring to King Kylie. She's back. If you have been living under a rock, and escaped social media marketing, Kylie Jenner is celebrating herself as her family is wont to do. Um,
As one does.
with a collection that references herself from 10 years ago. And so, King Kylie era was the matte lip, the bold and pastel hair color,
Yep.
the, getting into trouble by, you know,
With
um,
rappers and
yeah,
stuff.
fast cars and whatever dumb shit she was doing. But now she's older, wiser, leveled up,
Yep.
obviously, incredibly successful, despite my incredulity. And yeah, so this collection,
She's
King
back.
Kylie is returning to us, referencing, Kylie from the past. What do you think? What do you make of this era? What do you make of this collection?
I mean, I love it. I love it.
Really? Are
I
you gonna get
do.
a Kylie lip kit? Is that what's happening now?
Maybe. I
Okay.
think that she looks so stunning. Like I don't know. She's just like a vision. I don't I know you're just I don't know. I mean, here we are. Her makeup looks stunning. The hair color is so beautiful.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm
Well,
here
which
for
hair
it.
color are you talking about?
The one for the party, the pink, the
Okay,
bubblegum
the
pink.
pink
Yes,
wig.
yes,
Yes,
that
by
one.
Tokyo Styles.
Yep.
Again, reuniting with some friends of, yeah, I mean, I like this. I think that it's fun. I think that when people can look back at themselves and not take it all too seriously,
I mean,
it gives. Go
look at
ahead.
her looks from 2014. I mean, she
Hmm.
has literally evolved into a different person.
Well,
And we all know how that
yeah, I was gonna
happens.
say,
But they did a good job, is
they
what
did
I'm
a great
saying. They
job.
did a damn good
Um,
job.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's some connective tissue, some DNA there between old and
Yeah,
new. Um,
barely.
but yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, unlike her pal who we just talked about,
Yeah.
like there's, some legitimacy here. There's authority. She's been in the game for
She's
certainly, I mean, a decade at this
one of the
point.
first,
Yep,
right? I mean,
yep,
kind
yep,
of. I mean, you
yep.
got that momager working in the background and they
Hmm.
hit it. They hit the market
They
early.
certainly
So,
did. And now you get to look back 10 years later. So I'm
yeah.
curious what King Kylie will look like in 2026. 35.
Very different.
Yeah,
Very
we'll see
different.
if we sort of like this whole vibe again. But
We
I'm
will.
having fun. I'm glad that she's enjoying herself. I actually don't hate it, despite not enjoying them
Mhm.
at large. Okay, but let's talk about something
Okay.
different, shall we? Not
Yeah,
not beauty, but
let's do it.
hair.
Hair. Hair beauty culture. Better, right? That's why we're here. All right. Next up from Harper's Bazaar, we just talked about fall and then
Hmm.
the dreaded winter, but we're already, I guess, talking about spring. The best spring 2026 hair trends to bookmark now.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of slicked back.
Hmm.
I
So,
mean,
okay, let's
yeah.
just get into it because
Okay.
they cherry picked from the runways,
Mm-hmm.
and they're suggesting that what happens on the runway maybe translates
But
into in real life. So this is my question. Have you ever, and I mean this in like your heart of heart, like I've got an event, I'm thinking through what I'm going to do to style my hair. Are you ever like, I'm going to do a slick back, gelling the fuck out of my hair in any of the ways that are depicted here?
I think it looks super hot,
Hmm.
to be honest. Like
Hmm.
this, the mid
Okay,
hair, like
okay,
my
okay.
long hair and slick back.
Looking good, and you actually doing it.
I don't think I'd do it because I
Yeah,
feel like I'd have to put so much gel in
yeah,
and so much hairspray. I don't think I could get it to slick back.
yeah.
Like these gals' hair on the runway is probably demolished,
Of
right?
course, of course. I mean, and these are we've had, that whole Gorilla Glue is what it reminds me
Yeah.
of the cracking and they've got whole teams to help them afterward.
Oh, that's right. Isn't
Whereas,
it what is it? Dancers that have that cracking stuff on their head that
mhm.
like slick it back? That's got to be so devastating to your hair health. But again, I think you know me in menswear, right? I mean, you have a sick ass suit on and you
And then you slick it
slick your
back. I
hair
don't disagree. Like
back.
I'm about it. I just like in real life that one I struggle with. Like I think that it looks good almost always,
Yes.
particularly, but practically. They also are suggesting that bold new bangs are going to be a thing.
Mm,
And they've got all sorts of asymmetric, micro,
mm,
curly. I don't know. I mean, I
okay.
feel like bangs always have a moment.
Yeah, they do. They do.
But
It's
there's
these are not really revolutionary things. I also don't
sculptural
think,
updos, big
yeah.
trend. So this I'll give them.
So yes, I'll give them that too. And these
So
are beautiful sculptured
and they
updos.
really are, and we're
Hmm.
seeing that like just a couple of days ago at the Academy Museum Gala, there were a lot of sculptural
Yeah.
updos. This I feel like is something that we maybe will actually wind up seeing, and certainly something that people can ask of pros.
Yeah.
Whereas again, the slick back, it's like how do you negotiate those combos? Like that's
Right,
a
right.
quick and dirty appointment.
I also don't think that like runway hair translates to mainstream pop culture because the hair is not the subject matter. And so
Yeah.
it's always either slicked back or in a ponytail. And that isn't like a trend. That's just like the clothes are the trend, not the
Yeah.
hair. And
Yeah.
I don't see the correlation totally.
Yeah,
But
well, I mean, you're the one that said it. This wouldn't have passed your desk.
no, sir.
But here we are. The other thing that they really are driving home is that hair accessories are back.
Okay. That I can do.
Yeah, I mean, it seems
Maybe.
fun. I don't know, like
Yeah.
there the examples that they pulled, there's lots of sort of embellishments, there's
Yeah.
scarves, there's braided ribbon, like why not? I feel like that's something that I'd like to see some more of.
Okay.
Um, I do struggle towards the end, Harper's Bazaar, they really dug themselves into this wavy, wavy
No,
baby
wavy.
as a trend.
Well, I'm off trend today, sir.
But like having texture
Wavy
in your hair is a
is not a
trend. Like,
trend.
goddamn, I feel like we go
Get
one
with it.
step and then two steps back.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Do better.
generally aligned to some of these trends. Some of
Okay.
them. How about that?
Some.
Yeah.
We're not buying it all, Harper's. Anyway. All right, let's get into it, shall we?
Let's.
This week, we're talking with Suzette, a celebrated hairstylist with over 25 years of experience in barbering, wigs, weaves, braids, and color. Born in Brooklyn and based between New York and LA, Suzette's bicoastal style influences her work across music, film, and television. Her credits include All's Fair, American Horror Stories, Legendary, and RuPaul's Drag Race. And her celebrity clients range from Gwen Stefani, Quinta Brunson, to Babani.
Mhm.
and Alexander McQueen, an Emmy, MUA, Guild, and Hollywood Beauty Awards nominee. Suzette also owns a full-service salon and private studio in Los Angeles.
I will say, when she told me about Alexander McQueen's buzz cut, like that kind of blew my mind.
Yeah,
So
that's
stay
pretty
tuned. Stay
amazing.
tuned for this one, guys. I think you're gonna be interested in this one.
And we're once removed from Bad Bunny.
So there's that.
Hell yeah.
Getting closer and
Anyway.
closer.
Yes, we are just inching our way in. Anyway, make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeupthetease.com.
But before we get there, let's talk some Tease beauty news. And this first one is a little bit of a doozy. So we've been sort of upbeat, but this is not that. So this was an article that we just published. It's called "I Can't Believe It's Happening. Beauty Pros React to ICE Raids in Chicagoland." In recent weeks, Chicago and its suburbs, colloquially referred to as Chicagoland, have become ground zero for unprecedented immigration and customs enforcement, ICE, and Border Patrol operations. Perhaps emboldened by a recent Supreme Court ruling that permits race-based stops in Los Angeles, Chicagoland's Latino communities in particular are bearing the brunt of the enforcement efforts, which often looks like individuals being picked up off the street by masked men in varying degrees of uniform and identification and whisked away in unmarked cars or worse. Importantly, as the ACLU reminds us, quote, "Undocumented presence alone is not a violation of federal criminal law," end quote. No matter, the effect has upended life for Chicagoland residents. Local business owners claim that the fear and uncertainty related to ICE raids and Border Patrol have brought sales to a standstill, and many are warning that they may be forced to close. Now, Chicagoland beauty professionals are weighing in. Logan Parlor owner Jamie DeGrazia tells the Tease, quote, "What's happening here is racist, unjust, and terrorizing. It's a disgrace and dehumanizing," end quote. She adds, "I can't believe it's happening." Wanting to understand the impact of the raids and the patrols are having on Chicagoland residents and what they're actually being told to do by officials, the Tease got in touch with Bethany Jados, Logan Parlor's manager, also an advisor to DeGrazia's Hair Has No Gender. Head to tease.com for our conversation. So as I said, this one's a doozy, really, really in-depth conversation with Bethany as regards what the hell they're all seeing on the ground there. Pretty scary stuff, and wishing everyone in Chicago the very best. Some really good practical advice for listeners that are not in Chicago and the suburbs, as we're sort of seeing that this stuff is happening in obviously Los Angeles. We're seeing it in New York. We're seeing there's talk of people coming to the Bay. So would strongly encourage people to check out that article.
Yes, head to thetease.com for that. All right, next up, Dom Floretta on a lighter note on Jenna Ortega's carefree ponytail moment. Wednesday star Jenna Ortega brought the goth to the 2025 Academy Museum Gala red carpet with a barely there brow, a heavily lined eye, and metal breastplate by Grace Ling. Ortega's hair by celebrity hairstylist Dom Floretta was in total contrast to the harshness of the overall look. Floretta tells the Tease, quote, "We aimed for an effortless, youthful pony that feels fresh and modern," end quote. He also added, "We wanted to avoid anything too polished or structured, and the result was a carefree yet refined style that perfectly balanced elegance with ease." That was a great interview, and what a score. I mean, how cool. This was a moment. I love the juxtaposition of the hair and the vibe, right? Hair.
I mean,
yeah.
We talked about this at the top of the pod. I mean, the Academy Museum Gala really was something special this year. So there's obviously this how-to and obviously the interview, but then there's a mess more because really like top talent went and they brought their teams and they really showed up with some incredible looks. So if you are interested in this, you should definitely go to thetease.com because there are a ton more.
Thanks for covering that, Jeff.
Thank you so much to our contributors and our editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories like the ones you just heard about on thetease.com.
Now stay tuned for our interview with Suzette.
Suzette Boozer is a celebrated hairstylist with over 25 years of experience, known for her versatile expertise in barbering, wigs, weaves, braids, and color. Born in Brooklyn and now based between New York and Los Angeles, Suzette brings a bicoastal influence to her craft that resonates across music, film, and television. Her work has been featured on hit productions such as All's Fair, American Horror Stories, Legendary, and RuPaul's Drag Race. Suzette's impressive roster of celebrity clients includes Gwen Stefani, Camila Cabello, Eve, and Quinta Brunson, as well as male grooming clientele like Alexander McQueen, the Alexander McQueen, Bad Bunny, Ross Mathews, and Carson Kressley. Recognized by her peers, Suzette has received nominations for prestigious industry honors including the Emmys, the Makeup Artists and Hairstylist Guild Awards, and the Hollywood Beauty Awards. In addition to her on set artistry, Suzette is the owner of both a full service salon and a private studio in Los Angeles. She's represented by A Frame Agency and is a proud member of Yahtzee Local 706. Suzette, welcome to Volume Up. How's it going?
How you doing, Jeffrey? Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, no, no. Thank you for joining us. I'm so excited to get into all things Suzette. Let's just start at the top. If we could, how the heck did you come to beauty? Because everybody comes to it a little bit differently. Did you always know pro beauty was going to be the thing for you? Is it something that was
Um,
discovered later in life? Tell me.
well, I thought I love science and I love teaching, and I thought that would be, my direction. Believe it or not, I wanted to do mortuary science. And I played with
Okay.
Barbies. No, that's weird. But I guess it was a business where nobody would complain. It would never go out of business. But
True.
during
Smart.
school, I tried it, and like I just volunteered and stuff. And I played with Barbies a lot. And my mom used to model, and she didn't know how to do my hair for like, I mean, I just had one hairstyle as a kid. So going into junior high school, that is the time where you really have to have a look. And I started doing my own hair at a young age, and my friends wouldn't believe me. So then I would do my friends' hair, and then it just went from there. It was like in the school hallways. I went to Edward R. Murrow in Brooklyn, New York, and it was like a college preparatory school. So we were able to like sit in the hallways and hang out. And I would bring my curling irons to school and then start curling my friends' hair. And we would do talent shows, and I was always a hairstylist. And then I started doing the security guards' hair, and it just went, it was crazy. And it just went from there. I did not expect to actually be a hairstylist, believe it or not, but it was like a good summer gig. And then it was like on the weekends. And one day I went to a nightclub with like a whole bunch of my clients, and it was like a big event and stuff. And my client was approached by a celebrity artist, and they loved her hair. And then she was like, "Oh my gosh, guess what? You gotta come over here. They love my hair. You gotta come." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, please. They're not gonna wanna hire or talk to me." And then, literally this is like late 90s, where you remember when you had the matches stick, where you have like like strikes of matches and stuff,
Mhm.
and we exchanged our numbers on that. And literally the next morning I was waking up and she called, and I was just like, "Oh wow, it would be great, to work with a celebrity artist." And from there it went with referrals, and here I am.
Wow.
I'm still
Wow,
in
wow, wow.
science, and I'm
Wow.
still
You,
teaching.
you are, I mean, you literally every day, the
Yeah.
science aspect and teaching all of us via social media.
Yes.
That's wild.
Mhm.
Okay, so talk to me about earliest memories when you're baby stylist, way back in the day, getting to work with clients for the first time. What was that like when you were out of school, trying to make your way in the world? What was that
Okay.
like?
I'm not bragging, but because I was
Brag.
popular in high school, I went to a salon to get my hair done, and I would literally go early but make the latest appointment. And when I did that late appointment, I would basically just like be inspired by all the hairstylists and watch all the looks that they were doing, and then
Yes.
continue to see how everything was taking place. And then from there, I started at 15 in like another salon, but that was like a major salon. And I was like, "Can I work here?" He was like, "You do hair?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why you didn't say anything?" And I was like, "Well, I was shy." And then when I went, I brought my friends, so it's like a whole young clientele coming in, and I get to do like funky stuff because they're my friends. So I was able to be creative and start trending looks. So it would be like
Hmm.
French rolls with beads in it, and then we'd spray colors and do all kind of crazy stuff like that. And it was just like, "Oh, that little girl can do some hair." Like the older stylist, they was like, "Oh, she could do some hair." And it just went like that. And I would never forget my boss. He went away, and like it was a senior stylist. She came to me and she was like, you think you just gotta come and do hair and not start as an assistant? You have to wash the towels and everything like that." And
Oh
I was
God.
like, I ignored her, and I just told my boss when he came back. And it was magical. And I'm really, really grateful for my journey today, to know
Hmm.
that I got this far. But I want to thank my friends for trusting me and allowing me to do all the crazy looks that I've done.
Wow. 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 And as you said, I mean, those looks helped you to get to where you're at, which is working with some incredible celebrity talent over the years. Not to diminish other clientele, but I mean, some really impressive work.
Thank
How
you.
did you keep that going? So, I mean, you talked about that first initial outreach. You're in the club, celeb comes up to your client, then all of a sudden they're ringing you up to be like, hey, I want you to do my hair. That's one. To here we are, a few years later, working with some heavy hitters. How has that process been like? Working with many
So
different celebs.
working with celebrities, I tend to notice that they are not able to be outside, so basically, um, and back then, especially now it's easier because you have social media, but back then they weren't able to even have a lookbook or it was just magazines and stuff. So I had pictures of my friends' looks and I would always suggest looks. And, you know, it, the main important thing is always consulting with the client and asking them what it is that they like and what it is that they don't like. So you want to
Hmm.
stay away from what they don't like. But then whatever it is that they like, you start bringing suggestions. And when you give like a genre or a whole bunch of ideas, they're just like, I like that. That sounds great, you know? And you start with what they like first so that you can show your skill and let them understand, okay, I can do what you like, and now trust me to show you something that you would like that you never tried before, or let's collaborate. And that's what always wins with me with clients, always addressing doing what they like first and then, you know, joining in and collaborating, like, why don't you try this? Look at this, or let's try that, or and make sure that it actually suits the event. That's another thing. You don't want to do editorial here when it's just like, maybe a podcast or something. You want to save it for editorial. You want to save red carpet looks for red carpet. But you also want to collaborate with the makeup artist and you want to collaborate with the stylist to make sure that it's all put together and not just a hair standing out or, just me being selfish and thinking that I want to do this, and then makeup is trying to do something too. So we all become a collaboration together to make sure that we get a great look. And then that's what hits the tabloids.
Oof. Well, okay. Speaking about some great looks, your Instagram, if you just scroll, there are so many really stunning looks. With again, as I keep saying, some heavy hitters, some A-listers.
Thank
What's a
you.
look where you're like, damn, that's good. I'm proud of that. I'm glad we worked together to make that style a reality. Can you list off any
Um,
of them where you're like, that's it for me?
no, okay, so all right, recently. I did Gwen for Coachella and she actually did No Doubt. So, usually without No Doubt, just as Gwen Stefani, she has like
Hmm.
glamorous looks and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And then for Coachella, I was like, okay, let's just go hard. Let's do something that, you never done. And let's go like back then with styles from in the 90s, the late 90s, which is when I met her too. I met her in 98 in New York, and I did her two cornrows for red carpet for the Grammys. And
Sick.
then for Coachella, right, I did these two puff puffs where it's
Hmm.
like just a sharp cut. And, like when she was running and it was bouncing, because I knew that she was gonna go hard on stage, right? So I wanted to hear the move. There was two weekends. The
Hmm.
first one we just did like we did two knots, right? And that was like, it wasn't able to be seen, but I had like colorful tinsels in there and stuff like that. But then yeah, so you didn't get to see that much, But then the second week I was like, okay, let's go really hard. And,
Turn it
she was
up.
like, and then of course, like every client, she was like, I don't know, what is that gonna look like? And then I was like, trust me, and then
Oh.
I do demos. I'll do demos because I want to make sure that the client is comfortable and I do want them to see the vision too because
Hmm.
there's for me, if I'm creating a look, it's not existent, it's not in a book. So I, do a creation and be like, this is what's gonna look like. She's like, okay, that's hard, and then that was fun. That was fun because I like when I saw it bouncing. And then I love that after you do a look like that, it'll become a trend again. And that was one
Mhm.
of the looks that I used to do with my friends, back in school where we just, had to have like tamed hairstyles where it was like ponytails and stuff. And I was doing that and it was a recreation for me from when I did start doing hair. So that was actually cool. That's a good
Ugh,
question. I like that. That
ugh.
was, yeah,
I love that
that
you
was
picked Gwen
nostalgic for
Stefani.
me.
No, I mean, the thing
That was
about Gwen is like
nostalgic.
it's such a good example of what you can do, which is like you work with
Yeah.
all hair textures. And
Yes.
we've talked about this on this podcast. There are a lot of hairstylists that claim to be experts, curl experts in particular, and it is one kind of curl. And it
Mm,
maybe is done with a curling iron. That's not the case with you. So you work with all textures, which I love, and
yes.
it's we got a long client roster of different celebs and others that you've
Yeah.
worked with across the spectrum. So talk to me if you could about cultivating that skill set. Is that out of
Um,
necessity? I mean, you talked about it. You friends growing up. I'm
yeah.
imagining they had different hair textures, but talk to me about it.
Well, you know what? It comes from the salon. And again, I'm from Brooklyn, Flatbush area. And the thing about Brooklyn is you have 10 salons on one block.
Mm,
So this is competition central, and it's like you just always have to give it. And like everybody's inspired by television and the celebs. So they come into my chair and I had a party going clientele. So they would come a party were like professionals, all of the above. And they would come to my chair and be like, I want this. And you're like, oh my
how am
God.
I gonna do that?
Okay. And then you're scratching your head and you're like, okay, let me see here. Okay, she has this much hair, but she wants this much hair.
Mhm.
Okay, how are we gonna do this? So it's amazing how your mind works artistically and you just got to make it happen, and you have to satisfy the client because of course you have nine other salons on the block where you don't really want to lose that clientele and you also you want to keep your name on top. And I really know that the salon made me because I had to deal with
Mm,
all hair types, all textures, coloring, like also coming from a African American community and salon base, because in the African American salon, you normally have to do everything. You have to do the color, you have to do the cuts, you have to do the braiding, you shampooing. I mean, like you're doing everything. And then, I've worked in Caucasian salons too, where basically I only had to do the cut, I only had to do
mhm.
the styling. So it's like being able to just touch and do everything, like go into all like styling techniques, all textures, I mean, genders, extensions, playing with extensions and wigs and learning how to work with human hair and synthetic hair. It's a game changer. So I truly believe that a salon made me. And if I didn't work in a salon, I don't know if I would be as creative as I am today because I had to learn everything. Because
That's
you had
so
to be prepared
interesting.
for anybody to
Well,
come in the chair.
you did. I feel like
Yeah.
maybe there's some self-selection happening with some others, but yeah, this is incredible. I'm so impressed by the way that you're talking about this. In the resonance of the salon and that foundation really informing what you've been doing in celebrity hairstyling. Because I think some people that we've talked to, it's like they almost never worked in a salon. They only worked with
Uh,
and it's just different. So I'm taken aback in the best way by
yeah.
your background because
It
it's
builds
yeah.
you. You even have to know work etiquette. You have to have the etiquette of knowing how to deal with a client too. You know, I've also owned a salon for 15 years and in New York, right? And I always told my stylist, I said, listen, when a client walks through that door, it's not about you, it's about them. They are coming at their like maybe not lowest, but their insecure moment. They want to
Mhm.
look good. You know what I'm saying? So shut up, hear what they got to say. If you do speak to them, make sure that you're only speaking about products and what it is that you can do and what it is that will make their hair, will work for their hair type and all of the above. But don't tell them your personal problems. Allow them
Mm.
to tell you the personal problems. That's where we become that's where we become the psychic, the psychologist behind the chair where it's just like, okay, we're counseling and we have to listen, but you minimally give answers to, you just have to be a listening ear.
I love this. Such good advice. I'm just chuckling because I know some people that don't do active listening.
No.
But it is key to a long career, like yours, for example. Talk to me about production work. So hairstyling for TV, for other products, excuse me.
Totally
Um,
different.
yes. So speak on that if you could.
Okay, so now salon, I told you you get
Hmm.
creative and you get to do that. But now when you're working on production, here's the difference. You have to have speed, you have to have the trailer etiquette, and you also have to make sure that you understand the script and the production of what they want. It's not what you want to do. Now you're given an assignment. Now you have to match the project.
Hmm.
So sometimes it might not be as glamorous, but then that's hard too because
Yeah.
there's messy hair. Like, there's hair where someone's sleeping and you have to make their hair look like they were sleeping. You can't make them look glamorous. So you have to read the script and understand what you're doing. You have to know also, like, this scene we had her coming out of the shower, but then next she's in the office. So it's like, oh my gosh. So now I have to blow dry the hair and then reset it. And you have to be on time. You
Mm.
like production money is real money. It's not about I need 2 hours, glam, and
Yep.
you're taking your time. No, you have to know how to turn it around. You have to do it quick. And you also have to do continuity because what if you have to do this like look not tomorrow, but then they can have reshoots that could be months later.
Mhm.
So you have a continuity book where you literally every time when you do a look, you take a photo and you have to remember the technique that you did because
Wow.
then when you're working on production it's better to do technique so that at least you could be like, okay, step 1 2 3 4 5, so you could just do it quick, you know what to do. And what if you're not available and somebody else has to do it? So you also have to pass that gem on to the stylist to make sure that even production and the producers are happy to know that you made it work. It's just teamwork, and that's
Mm.
hard because I've seen a lot of people come on set and they're not from like the film world because they'll be a
Mhm.
personal and they don't understand the teamwork or they don't understand the continuity and they don't understand the look that has to be given for a script or a scene. So it's totally different, and that's Hollywood for you.
Ooh, perfectly said. And a beautiful
Yeah.
segue into the next thing that I want to talk to you about, which is working with product. You, my friend, have been in the business for a minute, and have worked with a lot of different things. I'm sure. One of the brands that you're working with currently, Dippity Doo, as a curl
Yes.
expert. So talk to me about
Yes.
how that partnership came to be, and then we'll get into some specifics.
Well, the partnership came through like working and my agency, but Dippity Doo is not new to me. I love that
Uh-huh.
I told you my history from
Yep.
the 90s and also being a girl going to school. I used Dippity Doo. Dippity Doo was the gel. I mean, it was so like, first of all, it was attractive because it was multicolored. There was
Mhm.
different colors, right? And then it had like this like marbleizing look to it. And when we used to use it, like, to do ponytails, and also do twist outs and stuff like that in my early years. Um, it smelled great, and also it was shiny. Like just how it looked is what it did to your hair, and I love to dippity do. I used to use it a lot. Like I even slicked up my hair today with
Yes.
dippity do because it's so nostalgic for me. It might be new for everyone out there, but I would love to let everyone know that one rule about me with products is that there's products that might come out and you try them, but when there's a product that's been out and you just passed on for a new product, Dippity Doo is one of those products that you never had a fault with back then. So you're just like, you just went on to something else because probably it was new. And then also it like kind of disappeared for a minute. But now it's back, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I remember Dippity Doo. That was my jam. Gosh, let me see. And then, you use it like, yes, this is exactly what it did, and, it's just a great gel, but now they evolved where they have like curly products, right?
Hmm.
So then I was like, oh, well, I'll trust Dippity Doo because I already liked them for my curly hair back then because I was natural. But when I was using Dippity Doo, I didn't have a relaxer. Of course, I had Jerry curls and a relaxer and everything, but I used Dippity Doo when I was natural and, to create curls. The only thing about creating curls back then, like today, what Dippity Doo did is extend the line is that I would have to have a whole bunch of gel in my hair. So I
Yep.
was basically like curl casting back then in order to get a curly look. Never even knew this would be the name in the future. Right. So then I'm just like taking the hair and I'm twirling it. And now it's called finger coiling. And,
Hmm.
you're twirling it, individually. And you're like, okay, this is going to take 2 hours to dry. And I'm just going to sit there and let it dry. And then it's like gorgeous and shiny. And then, you protecting it and you go to school and everybody's like, oh my gosh, your hair looks so cute. And then when it starts messing up, you put two clips in. It's just really nostalgic for me to see that Dippy Doo. I'm working with them too.
Hmm.
And I love that. And I explored the curly line and then that was amazing, to actually tell people out there who all the curly girls, or any just curly texture in general, how to use the brand and how to create the curls because it's still like it's a learning progress for some people where they've probably tried other brands and tried other
Hmm.
techniques and it just didn't work. So it's like, hey, let me show you how to do this, and you can use Dippity Doo. And each product in Dippity Doo actually can be worked for different curly textures and styling, which
So,
I can explain.
bro, I was gonna say, break this down for me if you could. What are some of your like go-to Dippity Doo products, and what are you using them for?
Okay, so the leave-in you always want to leave in. So leave in is conditioning the hair, basically getting the hair prepped. So that was amazing that they have that. So that's like number one for any other styling technique. You
Hmm.
always want to make sure put that moisture in and the leave-in is what is that's what it do, and it can refresh too. So if you shampooing your hair, conditioning, rinsing it out, you have your leave-in. And then you
Hmm.
start breaking it down with other products for whatever style you're trying to do. But then you can also use the leave-in if you already had shampooed and conditioned your hair, and now it's like day 2, 3, and you want to refresh.
Hmm.
You want to kind of put back the conditioning. That's what the leave-in does, is put back the conditioning in the hair, then to apply the styling product. And then it depends on what texture or what style you're trying to accomplish is where you would, continue with the next step on a Dippity Doo
Hmm.
product. So now, let's say you like a curl casting. I mentioned using the gel. That would help
Hmm.
very well. But let's say you like a voluminous curly look. There is the cream, right? And a lot of people don't know how to use a defining. There's defining gels and there's defining cream. But you have two creams. You have a coconut cream and you have the defining. You have a defining cream. So I would love to show that. So some people and textures, let's say curly 2 and 3,
Hmm.
right? Sometimes they don't want like too much of a defined curl where it's like extremely defined, but
Hmm.
they have their pattern showing, but then it's like it's fluffy, it's like, it's soft, creams is what create that. So
Hmm.
what you want to do with that is you have your leave-in and then you put your cream in. It's always best to let the hair dry completely. Then once it's dried, then you can fluff and style and do whatever. You can air dry, you can use a diffuser. Now, if you want to do a tight curl, yes, you can use the gel, but also sometimes you don't have to use the gel all the way through. That's where the mousse comes in, right?
Ah.
Which some people would use as the foam. So it's good where you just put the leave-in in, you can use some of the curl defining cream, and then you would scrunch in the foam, right? And let's say you just use the gel for some hairline edges or maybe just like a coil here or there for some hold and stuff like that. So it's just like a whole combination curly line. Dippity Doo has this combination of curly products that it depends on what finalizing style that you're looking for.
Mm.
And there's so many different ways on using the brand. So that's impressive, and I like that. You
I'm
know,
so into this. I feel like you have all of these formulas and concoctions and combinations. I'm curious, is there a product, a dippity doo product that you use in an unexpected way, where maybe it's like not as
mm,
advertised, but I mean, obviously you're a pro with
yes,
decades of
yes, it
experience. So
is.
is there, what is it?
It is. So like to create they're called twist outs, like
Mhm,
girls that maybe they don't want to do a wash and go all the time. And what you do is you kind of just use your curl pattern and define it by double strand twisting, and then you will leave it alone for a week without having to shampoo your hair for a week. Okay, I get it. You're a working woman, or you
mhm,
just don't want to do your hair every day. You just want a long lasting style. With the twist out, that leave in conditioner, always starting with that. And then you use the foam, and then you take some of the gel and you put it on the end. Amazing. If you want to do the twist and then you want to keep them in, you can use the gel to make it a look. Or like when you're doing braiding,
mhm,
um, the the defining cream as well, you can use that as well to slick back your hair, not have a hard ponytail, right?
mm,
Like, not a sleek ponytail, just soft and like eliminates your flyaways and stuff like that. There's also this other style that I like to do where, and like when the hair is like extremely short at a 4C, right? A 4C especially. It's like extremely short, about an inch
mhm,
on the length, right? Or even shorter. I'll take the foam, not even the gel. I'll take the mousse, right? The defining mousse, and I use like a barber comb with a fine tooth, and I'll make these twists that can incorporate or mimic a cornrow look. I've done it on celebs before. I have two celebs recently. I just used to do it. I've done it with fun fact. So I've done it on Eve, the rapper, like
love.
early 2000, right? And what's crazy is when I did that on her, because her hair was red, right? They had no gel that I could find. I couldn't find Dippity Do at that time, right? And I needed it for colored hair, but they only had dark colored gel, like a black gel, and I couldn't use that. And I remember when I had to try and find light gels, and I remember, oh my gosh, I remember Dippity Do. It would have been good, right? But I used like some other thing, and then it would flake and stuff, and I'm like spraying oil and stuff. And then recently, I did Tatiana Gabrielle with that look for premiere, and I used Tippity Doo. And of course, she was just like, "Oh, I like this," and she took some of my products, which I really gave it to her too because she liked it. But I did that look on her, and again, it was just perfect. It was soft. It just had a shine to it, and all of the above. So there's looks that today, like these braids.
Mhm.
They have it's called boho braids, where it could be faux locks or it can be braids, and they have like curly hair that comes out. A lot of my clients have been getting braids for the summer vacation.
Mhm.
They're using the leave-in, they're using the mousse,
Ah.
right? So they love it too because it keeps the hair soft. And then you just spray it, and then you just scrunch with the mousse if you want. You could spray it if you just need to do like a area. Like if this was frizzy, I would just spray it and then that would work. Or if I have the mousse, I would just scrunch it in to refresh the look and go about my day.
Mm.
And it's a game changer.
So you mentioned some boho braids. We're seeing that they're trending. What are some
Yes.
other looks that you're seeing, out and about, and or ones that you're hoping take off? Because again, you're creating some really cool editorial looks that translate eventually to people in the general community. So yeah, what are you seeing?
Well, trending right now, a lot of girls who do have like shortcuts, they do like the Betty Boo short finger
Uh-huh.
waves and stuff. The gel is perfect. And also, before you even mold the hair, you use the mousse. And then once you use the mousse to mold the hair, then you'll use the gel to create the style, to do the sculpt. That's trending. The braids are trending. Ponytails are trending. It's always a recycle 360, and
Mhm.
also definitely curly looks are trending. The curl casting is trending. It's just because of the new name, but it is. What's great about the curl casting is that now people understand the curls. It was hard to do curly hair back then. Like I told you, when I did
Mhm.
Dippity Do years ago, it took 2 hours for me to dry a whole curly head of gel, right? But now I can just basically add the leave-in, I can scrunch in the mousse, and then I can finger coil with the gel, I can use the defining cream, and and that just takes air drying, or you can go into the dryer for only 30 minutes or less, depending
Huge.
on the density or the length of your hair. Such a game changer with how much time it took to create or define your curls, you know? And then there's people out there who just thought, my curls only looked good when it was wet. And when it dried up, it frizzed. Well, the product basically will be frizz free and define your curls because now it's labeled as curl defining.
Mm,
So, you know, it's hard to really get that group of clientele to believe unless I do it with them or, explain to them what to do. So, then they're like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, finally, because I thought I couldn't get my curls to work anymore." There's also people who don't even know how gorgeous their curls are until you
mm,
show them a product. Again, on set, right? I have to do it real quick. I have done a wash and go on set before
mhm.
where it only took 30 minutes. And I had a department head look at me and be like, we won't have time. We gotta go. And I'm like, this is the fastest way to define this curl because what people fail to realize is you cannot really, it's harder to work with dry textured hair. You need the water, the
Mhm,
refresh. That's why the leave-in is the refresh. So
mhm,
I've done that in 30 minutes, but then I'll be on set, like recently on RuPaul Drag Race, I'll have some of the male guest judges or what coming in for touch-ups. I'll use the defining cream and they're like, wow, my hair looks great,
Never
and
looked
I'm just
better.
like, yeah. And it's like 10 minutes or less, you know what I'm saying? You're just like, come here, and you're rubbing the cream in your hand and you run it through and you just do a little coil. And they're like, that looks
All right.
good. They're like, okay, what is that? And they're looking at the product. And of course they get jealous. Like, girls with curls, what about me? I'm like, trust me, you can use it too. But yeah, that's that's the curly era. We're
Oof.
really getting to embrace our curls now, and that's really good. You know, I love to see that.
I mean, such a big evolution from, as you said, a
Yeah.
couple of decades ago, people not embracing, not
There was nothing on the
understanding.
shelf.
Well, that part, you can speak to that.
Yeah.
Very limited assortments available to people.
Yeah.
And that's not the case now. And thankfully, brands like Dippity Do really making investments to serve all hair types. I'm curious from your perspective, again, given the experience you have in this industry and your artistry, what are you hoping for in terms of curly hair care in the next couple of years as we continue onward? There's been some positive evolution. There's room for improvement. What do you hope to see?
I hope to see no more gray hair. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Stop it.
I hope to see it's like, oh my gosh. But I do hope to see more people understanding. I hope to see more hairstylists learning products and being able to transfer that information to clients so they too can understand and maintain their hair care at home.
Mm,
There is a lot of clients out there who are stuck, and when a stylist, not a stylist, there are some stylists out there, if they don't have the education on a brand or a hair texture, they will mislead them, and
mm.
just let them feel like, oh no, there's nothing you can do. So I do hope that we all come together and learn the brands and, teach our clients what to do. And also we can help the brands as well understand what we're looking for too. That's major.
Well said. Suzette, before I let you go, we're going to do our quick takes. These are the questions we ask of all of our guests, and then we'll let you get back to continuing to build your empire. First question that I
Okay.
got for you. What is the craziest styling request that you ever received from a celeb or other client?
The coloring.
Okay, break it down.
The
What
color,
do we want to
the
do?
color, the coloring in 3 days. Like
Okay.
we have colored and do color again within 3 days, less than a week. That's the craziest request that I've got from multiple celebrity clients at that.
Hmm. You
Yeah.
want to change it up? Yikes. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, what is your go-to song, playlist, or podcast to listen to when you're working? Or are you a silent type? Because we've now asked this enough times where people are like, actually, I don't listen to anything. So
Well,
where do you land?
with a client, it's all about me and the client. I like to
Hmm.
talk to the client, honestly, just so I can learn about them and also teach them.
Hmm.
But music, my background is Jamaican, and I love reggae. It's really positive. The old school reggae, like Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, artists like that. Podcasts, I always love to jump in on multiple beauty podcasts and medical podcasts to hear professionals. I like professional podcasts. I'm not really for like, the gossip podcasts. I like to learn.
Okay.
And then the other one that you asked me about, it was music podcast and what else?
Playlist, but it's the same. It's
And
it's
playlist
all
it
good.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a genre of everything because I have a 21-year-old and her genre is huge. So I also have to learn from her. And I'm into all types of music,
I
honestly.
can see that. Given some of your clients, I feel like
Yeah.
you've got a lot of varied
Yeah.
interests.
Yeah. And I
Uh,
love new artists, underground artists. They're really creative. What mainstream put out there is because they're popular, but when you hear some underground artists, it's really impressive.
you got to stay inspired. Uh,
Yeah.
what is a bucket list item that you would like to check off in the next 6 months, if you could? I mean, let's just pretend that you can, because sometimes you might not be able to schedule wise, but
Um, One of the things on my bucket list that I wish and would love to have is a beauty school. Yeah, I
okay,
really want to teach the new future inter interesting cosmetologist that wants to be in this world.
okay,
And I want to know why, because I didn't expect to be a hairstylist,
yeah,
but then I also want to teach them so much more than what school teaches because I didn't mention, but I did self taught. I was self-taught. But I went to school after just to know what I self-taught was
hmm,
right. And when I did go to school, I realized what school offered, and it was really just to pass your state board, and they didn't give the education that they were really looking for
hmm,
and what they needed to go out in this world. And basically, a lot of things that we talked about on this podcast is a lot of information that I know students want to hear. And they're inspired by what I do. I work with celebs, but a lot of people think it's fun and games, and it's like, it's really more professional than you think. So it's important for them to know the professionalism out there and how important it is to learn that book. I'm gonna tell you, I do still go in my textbook and, just look up the scientific things of like hair and scalp. It's important. We are the only profession that basically touch people besides doctors. So it's
yeah,
important to understand that we deal with scalp and diseases, stuff like that. And you have to identify that. There's clients that will come by and they'll say, "Oh, my hair is breaking. I think it's this, I think it's that." And then again, it's important to consult when you ask that client, "Well, are you taking any medication?" And you find out what it's for. You're like, "Oh, well, that's the side effect." And you need to talk to the doctor and let them know you are facing this side effect. See if there can be a manipulation of either a lower dosage or if they could do something else. So, yeah, that's why
God.
I'm saying it's important for everybody to really, really learn. You never stop learning, but you really, really have to learn your industry that you're in.
Well, I feel like a lot of people would want to go to that school. So I'm not saying that you're not a
Yay,
busy
come
enough
through,
lady, but
come
if you,
through.
I was gonna say, maybe get that school off the ground sooner rather than
Yeah,
later.
I love
No
that.
pressure.
Thank you.
Yep. What
I
is
know,
a,
I know, I was
yeah,
just like, oh,
no, I know you got other stuff to do. But we do want that
yeah,
for you. We want that for,
thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah, no, salon pros. What is a social media trend that you just do not understand?
Oh, cutting your own hair. Are you kidding me? Coloring your own hair. There are certain things that you have to leave to the professionals. You can style your own hair. Like, I'm going to tell you how to do a wash and go. I'm going to teach you how to use a Dippity Doo product to achieve your curls, but I'm
Mhm.
not going to tell you to cut your own hair. You can't see the back of your head. And I'm not going to tell you to color your own hair because you're going to cause breakage. So,
Yes.
leave the chemicals alone, leave those scissors alone. I think it's really bad that people are out there doing that. And you see the mishaps that happen. But I do
Would we
like when
ever?
somebody will show how they created their styling techniques, but I hate
Mm.
when they try to do, and hate is a strong word, but it's just not for, I don't cut my own hair. I mean, I've tried, yes, but I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't
Mhm.
see right here. So I always
Mhm.
get that faux hawk. And coloring my own hair, I mean, maybe I'll touch up a little hairline, but I can't do a blonde to myself. No,
Mm. Again,
no.
beautifully put. And yeah, hate, strong word maybe in that
Yeah,
specific instance, but I
it's
think you
not a
nailed
good
it.
thing.
You nailed
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Last question, and then we'll get you going on your way.
It's fine.
If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
Money.
Okay,
Just
all right.
kidding. I mean, it's not
Makes it
the root
easier.
of happiness, but you know, unlimited supply. You know what you need? We all need good health in
Mm,
in our life, in whatever we do.
yep.
And it'd be great to just stay healthy. You know, that's a good one.
That's
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 yeah,
the best one.
yeah,
Suzette, where can people find you? How can they track you down? Keep up to date with all of the stuff that you're doing, because it's a lot. Let's
yeah.
do some plugs.
Hair underscore Sulan. So hair, HAIR underscore
Mhm.
Sulan is SULON. It's my name combined with Salon. Weird how I got it, but you can also you can reach out to me. You can DM me. Usually I answer all my DMs, especially with hair topics. Um, I try my best and I do well on answering. So if I'm busy, I'm not able to be on there. I'm on set, I'm not able to use my phone. So don't think that I'm ignoring anyone but
You'll get back to me.
yeah, yeah, I will get back to you.
Amazing. And where can people can find Dippity Doo?
Oh my gosh, Dippity Doo is in Sally's. You can get it on dippitydoo.com. I don't think it's dippitydoo.com. I think it's Girls with Curls. But go online, Google Dippity Doo, find out where is your local beauty supply. If it's not there, you tell them, hey, I need this, order it. Believe it or not, beauty supplies listen to you because they want to know what it is that you want. So I've done that plenty times. I've gone to my beauty supply vendors and I've told them what to get. So
Mhm.
yeah, go out there and find it.
Look
Amazon, you
at
can
you
go out
telling
there.
everybody all
Yeah.
sorts of gems. This is another one. Another little
Yeah,
gem that you're
yeah.
saving right for the end.
Get
Make
it
sure that the
though.
beauty supply store hooks you up
Yeah,
if
make
you
sure
need
they get
something.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have private vendors out there and they want to know what we want. So you can go there and tell them, hey, this is a good product. This is what works.
Yes, yes. Well, again, it's been a pleasure getting to know you, Suzette, talking about your career, talking about your work with Dippity Doo. We'll include
Thank
everything in the
you.
show notes, so we'll make it nice and easy for our listeners to make sure that they can go click through and follow you and find all the stuff that they need. But don't be a stranger.
Thank
Come
you.
back.
Thank you. Of course, I would love to come back. Thank you very much. And Dippity Doo, keep up the good work. You've been out there for a long time. Let's show them how to do it.
Let's do it.
All right, Jeff. Knocked it out.
Mhm.
Another good one.
I mean, all in a day's work. Suzette, I mean, what a career. I mean, this is
Totally.
when people are like, "Oh, I never saw this for myself," or I mean,
Hmm.
endless possibilities, and
Yes,
he's a
please.
testament to that.
Let's please see it for ourselves. Hmm? Shall
Hmm.
we?
Hmm.
Let's make it happen. All right. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Orbache is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.